Hi, I'm Scarlett Rose Ashcraft, and I'm ordinarily called Rosie. I am a music artist under the name Scarlett Rose, a writer, mom, and advocate. And I advocate for, I have special interest areas for neurodiversity because I am on the autistic spectrum and diagnosed. And trying to help people understand our differences in communication and sensory experiences, emotional experiences. And I advocate for disability, especially invisible disability and invisible illness, because that's what I live. And it's really hard. And it shouldn't have to be this hard. But unfortunately, a lot of people are not nice. And, it's the last thing that someone who's ill needs is to be criticized and put down and bullied, So, but there's lots of nice, kind, wonderful people too. And hopefully we can get more people to open their eyes and realize that disabilities aren't always super obvious. And that if someone doesn't look sick, it doesn't mean they're faking because they're using a wheelchair, or if they use it part-time or whatever. So anyway, that's the kind of thing that I do, and it comes from my own experience because I have a story to tell. I have an experience to share, and it was a rough one. It was traumatic. So the reason why I'm in the position that I am today is because of what I went through. I do have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, but I was treated very badly and accused of things that I'm not, and all that for half a decade. And it's hard to talk about, but it was really hurtful. It was horrible. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone, that experience. I was accused of factitious disorder, and it was proven that there's, eventually I had to get very sick and have like a massive crash in another country to get properly diagnosed. But a very judgmental psychiatrist slapped that label on me, even though I'd already been diagnosed autistic, even though a dermatologist had already diagnosed me with the skin type of Ehlers-Danlos, and it was awful. I won't go on about that, but that particular psychiatrist has actually harmed other people, and in my opinion, she shouldn't be practicing. But she did a lot of damage to me. And for half a decade, I was flaring and getting so sick. And at my worst, I got down to 85 pounds. It's very complicated, and I don't want to get into it. But I reversed it with the help of, my internist. I won't say his name. I want to, but maybe he's a bit on the spectrum too. But he's the one guy that listened to me. And also my family, threatened to sue VIHA and all this. So, because I broke down, I was physically, mentally breaking down, and I was being treated like garbage everywhere because they saw factitious right at the top of the file, and it was essentially defamation. So, it was very traumatic, and even to this day, I get, hypersensitive about people thinking that I'm faking and stuff. It still really upsets me. Even if I didn't go through that experience, it's upsetting when you're actually ill and suffering and in pain for people to assume that. It's extremely insulting and painful and angering. So, but anyway, that's what I went through for 5 years, and I got very sick because I was so distraught, and I was being treated like garbage. And part of it too is because I'm different. I am autistic. I'm 35 years old, but maybe I seem younger, and a lot of people that pick on me, they try to call me stupid. Like I can think a lot more than I can say. That's what I got to say about it. I write elaborate poetry and songs and all that, and prose, but it doesn't always come out sometimes some of it comes out, but there's a discrepancy there, and people don't understand that. And it's gotten more profound as I've gotten more sick, which is why one of the reasons I stopped, making videos, because of that. I had a lot of stroke-like episodes, and that affected my brain, as it seemed. So it's complicated. And I'm not talking about autism, I'm talking about Ehlers-Danlos. So I want to get to the point about my neck. I believe that I developed the unstable discs because of being malnourished like that for 5 years, and having uncontrolled flare-ups like mast cell, which is something that people with Ehlers-Danlos deal with and needs medication. And I went through long periods of time where I had pancreatic insufficiency as well, and I had to work with that internist, Dr. S, I'll call him, and kind of troubleshoot, shot in the dark, try, some meds and stuff. And luckily, I was able to turn it around with the willingness of him, and he gave me credit for that. But it was really bad, and during that time of depletion, I was damaged. Like my musculoskeletal system was damaged, so my mobility today is really affected, and I have to use a wheelchair part-time, and I shake, I tremor, I can't, the neck especially is really the main reason why that's all happening, and even neurological symptoms. So I'm trying my best to communicate here. Yeah, it's been hard. It's been very painful, and I'm concerned about my organs with the amount of meds I have to take for these problems that are being caused by my neck. They're damaging me, especially my kidneys. My kidneys are really showing signs of stress. You can tell from my eyes sometimes and stuff. My eyes are like this because of the smoke too in the air. We're having a unfortunate smoke wave from the forest fires in the interior of BC. But yeah, it's pretty rough. And what's rough about it is that no neurosurgeon in Canada, this is the problem here, will operate on us, on people with Ehlers-Danlos and neurospinal complications like instability, Chiari, tethered cord. We had a neurosurgeon in 2016, and he was the guy who killed his wife and went to jail unexpectedly. And it was devastating because nobody expected that. And ever since then, we've had no one else be able to, I guess, step up. And the hospital so far has not been agreeing to hire somebody. But the ILC Foundation, which is a foundation out east, nonprofit that advocates for Ehlers-Danlos patients, was started by two moms of daughters with Ehlers-Danlos, and they advocate for us to get care, and they're still working on it. My husband and I, we're separated, but we're still really close friends, and we work together a lot, so he cares about me, and it's a long story, but he's still, my best friend, one of my best friends. So yeah, we're working on it. We're trying, but it's hard because we don't have a lot of money to work with. I've got things that I want to do in my life. I want to spend more time with my boys. I want to do a second album. I'm still pushing. I just want to live. I love life. I love nature. I love, my friends and family, and I love art. And it's hard because I'm always so limited, and I want to advocate and share my story and help people, and I don't want to be silenced by being so unwell that, I'm a prisoner of this. So anything that you can give to help me, I really appreciate it deeply. And I always give back. I send my music album, a high quality digital download. I will be getting more CDs soon. There will be a specialty item. And my book, I've written two poetry books and one book called Girl Outside so far in PDF. I'll give those away. None of them are published in print yet, but I'm hoping to do that in the future. And the book that I'm working on about what happened to me in the system, the accusation and stuff and what I went through and fought to prove my truth. It's called out, not under. Out, not under, you know, like getting out, not being thrown under the bus, basically. I'm hoping that that will be finished before 2022. So I will give back. I will keep giving back. I will keep going. Anyway, I've said enough. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you can consider helping me, or if you can't, passing on the message and spreading the word, sharing my story. Thank you.